Wednesday, is it? Yeah, it is Wednesday. Wednesday, July 17th, 2024. Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. I got my co-host in the house, Tyler. Mando, how you guys doing today?
Doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm a little tired, but doing great. Tyler, how you doing?
Great. Sun's shining. We got my roof fixed this morning, so no more leaks in our house.
No more leaks.
So we're happy about that.
No more leaks. Let's go.
Coins are looking good this morning too. So, GM.
Yeah, dude. I absolutely love to see. Yeah, coins are definitely looking good. Well, they were looking a little better last night, but they're still looking great this morning. Man, last night's raging pump was so good to see. It was like around 10 p.m. I was just on my computer just looking at everything. I was like, oh, this is so good. And in this moment, I am. What was it? No, what's that meme of like Kim Jong-un smoking a cigarette in the midst of It's So Over? You know that one?
We are so back.
Yeah. That exactly. It was me just like smoking a doob last night at 10 p.m. after like a long ass day. And I was just like in the midst of It's So Over. We found out we are so back. I love that. Look, we have I'm getting notifications right now of like ETFs picking their tickers and their fee amounts for ETH ETFs. Let's go. We're so back. We are so back. It's almost like we never left. Anyway, so that was the show today. We got an interesting show for y'all today. Well, like every day. But market reports as usual. So of course we'll go through markets that are rage pumping, bears and disbeliefs, tweets are being deleted. You absolutely love to see it. Then obviously Tyler's Top 100 as usual. Then last but not least, we will be joined by Johan Kerbat, who is the VP and GM at and not good morning. That means general manager, but VP and GM at Robinhood Crypto. So we reached out to that. We were talking to them when they were just buying finishing the Bitstamp acquisition. And figure, why not come talk about that and a few other things that Robinhood's got on their plate. So really excited to be able to chat with the VP of crypto there about all things crypto, his thoughts, his background, and what's going on over there at Robinhood. Hopefully, we can get them to list all of our favorite coins. Just kidding. That's definitely not what we're gonna do at Robinhood today. Don't want to burn that relationship, but we can manifest it. Anyways, without further ado, let me get some retweets, y'all. Let's go. I want to see some love. And why don't we get right into it?
Who is the man, macro daddy of the land? Can you dig it?
Yeah, GM everyone. So I think we're a little bit higher than where we did the show yesterday, but yeah, we did slightly come off the local highs, which happened kind of around last night. In the last 24 hours, it's kind of been bullish headlines only, to be honest. Like we saw the biggest influence of ETF in 6 weeks, which is just over 400 million in a day. You've seen people kind of taking the Mt. Gox news and saying, it was overestimated, the FUD, and you've seen whales accumulate on the back of that. So still looking fairly decent. I think people are now starting to downplay Mt. Gox as being a big deal. Yeah. You saw some very bullish headlines from various different people in the industry about what to expect from the ETH ETF. Talk of ETH to 5K. We would see 5 billion of inflows this month. So by the end of the year, just decent figures. You've seen there's a press conference with the SEC and Ripple tomorrow. And XRP is running fairly aggressively. It's up another 35% this week. So there's an expectation that they're going to come to a settlement. Just more bullish stuff happening in crypto. I haven't really seen anything other than Mt. Gox being the one bearish thing. It has been a broad-based rally. So we've seen quite a few different things in the AI space rally. You saw that Grayscale announced just before we went live that they're doing like an AI style fund, which is a number of altcoins with AI, slants to them, let's say. And that's meant that bit of the market has felt pretty hot. WorldCoin announced that they were going to delay some of their emissions, so that's up like 40% today alone. So yeah, broader crypto, I've only really seen positive headlines, and I think there's still a bit of a slow appreciation. You know, that JD Vance would also would be very bullish for crypto as well, which has led to a lot of bullish headlines over the last 24 hours. So yeah, looking good. There was some negative macro. We obviously hit all-time highs across stocks again yesterday, but there was some negative macro related to chip stocks overnight, just that they might be facing some levels of bans again. The US is obviously working very hard to stop China from getting some of these AI chips or the high performance chips, and that took some stocks slightly lower today. But I don't know. I'm looking at everything right now, and everything's looking good to me.
Dude, XRP's up 40% this week.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
it's actually up a lot. Like, bring up that chart.
Yeah, let's bring it up. It's sick.
Since the local lows, that's rallied very, very aggressively. Just because there's an expectation that they're about to get a yeah. Look at that. See.
Let me just bring it up. Let me put the weekly.
No,
on. It's by
that's
market
not,
cap.
That's not XRP, right? Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
XRP.
yeah.
Let's put here XRP USD. There you go.
Yeah, so it's basically up 50% in the last 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
big move higher. Just
Wow.
there's an expectation that tomorrow there's going to be an announcement. We spoke about the idea this last week, right? Yesterday, that the SEC has been basically nullified in its threat to crypto here with this ruling potentially, or at least it'll be very, very difficult for them to pursue a lot of the enforcement actions. So I think they're probably going to try and settle, or they're going to try and toss out cases which they don't think they can win.
Wow.
So I think the eyes will be on here, in my opinion, will be on the Coinbase lawsuit, all the other lawsuits against exchanges. So they have one against Binance, obviously, Kraken, they have one, Coinbase, they have one, and then they have they have them against various different DeFi protocols. Although we haven't got the full details on that, but we know they have one against Uniswap.
MetaMask.
I think they
No, they withdrew, but then they came back the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see how that one
came
goes.
After the fact that apparently it was operating securities.
Yeah.
They remember they withdrew the next day. They sued them.
Yeah.
It's a lot, dude. The SEC is fighting a lot of crypto multi-billion-dollar companies, man. These people are not scared to lawyer up either. Like, damn.
Well, they've lost pretty much every single one.
I know, but that's crazy. That's like, I'm thinking, like, if I'm the head of the SEC, like, and I run it, let's say, as a business, even, like, is it even smart to go after all these at the same time? All these multi-billion-dollar companies? Fuck.
It's probably costly.
Oh my god, being a lawyer there?
They've probably lost a lot of people, right?
They did.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel as though things are looking good for crypto. I think we've rallied pretty aggressively right here. Like, we're up 15% now on Bitcoin in just a few days. So maybe we just needed we were at 57K on the 12th. So 5 days ago, we were actually at 56K. So 5 days ago, we were at 56K. Now we're at 65K. So we're up like just shy of 20% since then. Maybe 17, 18%. So that's a decent move.
Can you tell me what's going on with WorldCoin? And why is it up 25% to a $30 billion fully diluted market? Do any of you know? The open-ended question, like, I just saw this. I went by because I saw the XRP pump, so I categorized by 7-day, like what's up the most, and it's WorldCoin's up 55 points.
I said it.
What?
Just before we went live, or I said it as we went live, that they delayed their emissions. So remember, WorldCoin has this unbelievable FTV because it has all these unlocks happening. They delayed that emission schedule from 3 years to 5 years. This is similar to a lot of altcoins right now. They have a decent short base on them. So when there's any sort of positive news, they can move up pretty aggressively.
Huh.
I mean, that's not that looks horrific, that chart, right?
I mean,
So,
I'm just bringing it up because we're talking about it, but I'm just like, this is like the perfect, like most of this token is controlled by like VCs and market makers anyway. So it's like, it's a full blown.
VCs own most of it. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure market makers and VCs own 80% of WorldCoin.
That would make sense.
Yeah, several things I've heard.
I mean, is there a bigger disconnect between market cap and FTV for any crypto major than
I don't think so, dude. Like what's the market cap? Like the actual
830 million.
800 million.
It's like 2.5%.
I mean, XRP is pretty big as well.
Is it the gap like that? Let me see. The XRP gap is so it went at least this was 33 bill, and then this the FDV 61 bill. The other one's
61 billion. XRP is a $61 billion coin. Solana is a $93 billion FDV coin. Just put that into perspective. Like,
yeah,
that is.
WorldCoin is interesting. I still think it's I mean, it's the only way to bet on Sam Altman via crypto. I feel like there's a lot of normie demand. There's a lot of retail demand for that.
Is there?
At 800 million market cap, it sounds cheap. Like if you don't see the FTV.
Yeah. If you don't see the FTV, you can get caught real quick in that trade.
The FTV is not cheap.
You look at the market. Oh, only 800 mil for Sam Altman. Like the guy's worth more than that. And then you go and then you go and look at and then you look at the fully diluted. And you're like, holy shit, this thing's at $30 billion. Oh my god, this is absolutely wild. In other news, and that's the latest, I guess, on the ETFs that came out as the show started. New 21 shares Ether ETF will be 0.21%, and the ticker is CETH, as per their just filed final S1. So it looks like, it's similar to the last stretch of the Bitcoin ETF. So if you listen to the show, then you're probably familiar with this because we cover it every day. But you're gonna get all of the S1s and all the takers and all the fees, and then it's going to be probably a race to zero at first for the fees, right? Remember, most of the Bitcoin ETF fees were like 0% for the first 6 months, or up to a certain amount of Bitcoin accumulated, depending how much they're making. So we'll see. Where that goes. There's also this news from the SEC Commissioner Pierce saying Ethereum ETFs being able to stay could be open to reconsideration. So that's like turbo bullish Ethereum news, if you ask me. I think certainly something like staking or any feature of the product, those are always open for reconsideration as far as I'm concerned. So this is, if we're talking headlines, this is like nonstop good headlines. You know what? Is there a world where Hester Pierce become SEC head commissioner?
I don't know. I feel like anything's possible. I feel like we're not ready for this potential pro crypto regime because we've just been so conditioned.
She's a Republican. Pierce is a Republican. And she's like, she came to Denver, remember? She tweeted about it, and remember doing the Stoner Cat stuff when they Stoner Cats they got sued by the SEC. But then it alleged that every NFT is a security in there. Well, then Hester Pierce was the first one, very quick, same day, to write a letter saying that they disagree internally with the decision of the chair of the SEC, Gary Gensler. So I could definitely see her like as the next chair of the SEC.
It'd be a win. I mean, she's logical, right? She uses reason.
She's logical, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Tyler, how it works in the States is the governing party gets to pick the chair of the SEC, right?
I believe so. I'm not like super in depth with all the inner workings of politics, but I believe that's how it works.
Yeah. I think they have a term that they have to serve, but if the party swings, like changes, like I think they get to see. Gary Gensler was nominated by President Joseph R. Biden to serve as chair of the Securities Exchange on February 3rd, 2021. So usually it's like you're appointed, right? And you have a term that you serve from what I've read in the past. So anyway, so look, that's a good roundup. Bitcoin's around, it's been hovering around 65K mark, a little over, a little under. We hit 66K last night on a pretty big pump. Ethereum is at 3450. Last time was about 35 plus. Solana is doing so good right now in this market. Dude, it's actually wild how every positive news just also directly impacts Sol. So BTC Sol really just going band for band in market caps. So you love to see that, just adding billions on the market caps, and the rest of the market being dragged up with memes higher. I mean, the usual suspects. Mog yesterday hit new all-time highs above. It was 925 mil. I caught it at some point. Dex screener. So that's pretty wild.
Too. They both they're just moving neck and neck. It's wild.
They're just moving neck and neck at this stage, right? Like yesterday when Mog was in the 700s, Pop at 800s, but now it's the other way around. Like Mog is back above Popcats. Those two meme coins are going band for band, while Pepe and Whiff, who were the laggards recently, are also back. I mean, Pepe just slightly pulled back under 5 billion and Whiff around 218, but both had an enormous rise alongside, a bunch of meme coins. I mean, dude, I'm looking like, you see Lock-in, you see Chud, Retardio, Billy, Zin, Epic. Like there's a bunch of meme coins that are like bouncing on Solana and on Ethereum. Like you have also Trump that people are looking at on there. So it's really ETH and Sol, like the narratives are there. And it seems like our ordinals are doing really good, Tyler. Yes, I was looking at that. But anyways, while we're talking about Tyler, why don't we get into your top 100?
For daily NFT and crypto analysis. Tyler D on Fomo hour cause the kids can't miss.
Ready to bash some bears. Yes, so crypto majors up another 1% to 2% on massive ETF inflows from the day. BlackRock with $260 million just themselves. They've now got $21 billion in Bitcoin. So a massive amount from them. WorldCoin leading all. It's up 40% on the day as the team extends their unlocks. Nate Silver, he's joined prediction market Polymarket as an advisor, bringing his expertise from years of election modeling to that leader. In NFT news, and there was kind of a lot yesterday. So we had ApeCoin. They shared a new Ape Chain website, a new Telegram, a new testnet, and a big announcement last night.
Oh, wow.
And the Bored Apes also shared, now we know why the Made by Apes was taken off. NBA Made by Apes 2.0 will be coming on Ape Chain soon. So it was all tied together. NBA not going away. ApeCoin responded. It was up 5% on the day to 83 cents. Doodles debuted the first teaser for their short film, Doodlesville and the Doodleverse. It features several core community members, some notable PFPs. The trailer, I've watched it a few times. It's good. Got me excited for the movie. We can talk about that more in a bit. Blast announced their bridge has now shortened from 14 days to 7 days, so you can get your funds off faster. Coinbase posted a cryptic cat video yesterday, then followed it up with a Meow NFT mint link in a description. Come back on 7/17, which is today. Already 300,000 mints on this thing. Just 21,000 owners though. And then in ordinals, you team me. Leonidas shared new mint for his upcoming Boldnals drop. I think this is going to be the most hyped drop we've seen on Bitcoin in months, most likely. And that's
All right. Well, that's a good roundup. Can I just say how disappointing I was? Maybe my hopes were higher for the Coinbase thing, but it's like all this hype, everyone's losing their shit. Of course, I did not expect it to be a cat coin listing, by the way. Like, this is just not how Coinbase works and operates, but I was just like, bruh, at least they picked a Persian cat. I'm Persian cat, Persian's in control.
Just another NFT man. Like, so I've gotten suckered into these. Like some of their early Coinbase NFTs, like I went through and minted on 100 wallets. It was like these, like maybe we'll get the token for this.
How many of that fly you got from Xcopy? How many of that one you got?
I went lighter on the fly by Xcopy because I kind of learned my lesson by then. It's like every one of these Coinbase NFTs is just the same thing.
I love that. There's two things I want to quickly go over with you before we go to Joe here. He's in the studio, but Doodles. I was talking to Lox last night. I was like, so how's this Doodles thing? Because I was watching it when he called me and I said, ask your kids, right? Because it's a cartoon. I personally thought it was good. I saw Beanie give Doodles some flowers this morning. That's probably the last thing I was expecting to see on my timeline. I thought it was good for what it is, but did your kids watch it, Tyler? I'm curious to see what kids think of this because it's a cartoon, right?
It is a cartoon. So my kids are 3 and 4. I feel like this is a little bit older for them. I think this is maybe geared a little bit like maybe 7 to 12. I actually was very intrigued by this trailer. I feel like they didn't give away too much of the plot, but you got an introduction to like this universe that it's set in, the Doodlesville. You understand like what is happening, but you don't really know the plot of this movie, which I like. They didn't give it away. It features music by Pharrell, directed by Burnt Toast, produced by Golden Wolf. It features Lil Toon, Lil Yachty, Coi Leray, Lil Wayne, and I think maybe the most important part, it actually features some of the PFPs from their core community members, some of their core holders, like Jay Fells is in there, Nathaniel, who I see all over my timeline. I think that's really cool. Like to actually see your PFP in a short film that's going to be debuted at this Toronto Film Festival, and likely going to see a lot of coverage and airtime. I mean, I would personally love to see my PFP in a movie like this one day. And I think the other takeaway is it just looks really, really well done. And like, yeah, I want to see this.
I agree. Isn't the last part where Lil Wayne is on?
Nerd, this party's invite only.
Where do we get this invite?
You gotta know somebody.
That is Lil Wayne.
Know somebody.
Yeah. But I think that's Jay Fell's skeleton too, right?
Yeah, it is.
Like, so Lil Wayne is rocking the skeleton there. I think that was a pretty sick.
They did a good job, man. You know what? Like, you gotta give, like, it's easy to go all the NFT PFPs and this and that. Like, they did agree. I'm gonna share it real quick. I want to show them some love, but they did a good job. I watched it as well last night. I had the same reaction as you, Tyler. You at some point, like, you gotta give credit where credit is due. Like they did a good job,
Yeah, and they've been working on this for a long time.
Yeah.
Then the market sells off. So like it's just hard to please.
Is it?
NFT
Like, I mean,
holders
the
in 2024.
NFT market is relentless, dude. What are doodles at? Because when you talked about it last week being undervalued, yeah, they're down from there.
Yeah, 1.6. I mean,
I don't know what's
if I an ETH PFP right now, Doodle's got to be at the top of the list. I keep saying that.
Yeah.
They're just doing so much. Like, guys, I don't know what else you want to do.
What do you guys think in the comments? I'm getting a bunch of comments from people saying that, they thought it was great. So I've only seen positive comments, right? Like, even if it's not like down your stuff that you usually watch, like, it's good. It's well done. It's on brand. It's actually perfectly on brand. So they definitely did some good work. I think, didn't Julian reach out to you? I think we should just talk to him about this on air.
Yeah, I think we need to get Julian on with all firsthand.
Castro, Wob, like, I'm seeing founders, I'm seeing apes, like penguins, like seeing people from all other communities, creators, Micah Johnson, like a lot of people just like coming out to support them. You see, like, this is like a good blend of like artists, founders, other community members, creators, like, a lot of people backing it. I think this is positive. While we're on the topic of this, so tell me, run me through the latest ApeCoin updates, because we had like back to back updates last night.
Yeah, so they got a new website, a new Telegram chat, which I thought was an interesting move away from Discord, perhaps a signal for what other projects will be doing here in 2024. A new testnet is live. They're inviting creators, builders, and just generally bored people to go ahead and start joining. The website itself is pretty limited right now. It does tease a blueprint coming soon, so perhaps we'll learn what the future plans for the ape chain are. So that's pretty much it. Like, we have the site, it's live. You can, start to register it in the Telegram, and then Bored Apes piggybacked on this, saying that, hey, clearing the air on Made by Apes, that is going to be live on Ape Chain soon. So don't stress that everything got taken down effectively.
I saw the founder of Off-Chain Labs change his PFP to an ape yesterday. He did the same thing when they partnered with Azuki, which I thought was pretty cool. Steven Goldfeder. So I saw that. Celebrating the launch of Curtis. It's called Curtis Testnet. What do this is all going to be powered by the same ApeCoin that we're talking about? Like the same old, like, that's all the same ApeCoin, right?
Yeah.
It's up another 6% today. So clearly that now it's reacting.
Some people are bullish. I'm in chat with Sergio. Sergio loves the ApeCoin.
I know. Sergio loves ApeCoin. And but because the thing is, think about it, right? Risk reward. He's not making a bad bet when he was buying it last couple weeks ago. You cannot possibly get more FUD. It was like bottom of the barrel, like nearing zero, down like probably from $26 to 60 cents. Was that $26, right? Was like the all-time high for ApeCoin. It was 26. I
remember hitting 26.
Yeah, $26. And it went all the way down to how much, Tyler? 61 cents. So that's
nice bottom take. I mean, it could easily get back to 1, right? Like, that's a 20% move from here.
It's a pretty good RR. It's down 60% year to date. Well, most of the coins that we are, of course, not all coins. Like a lot of the coins are up year to date, right? So anyways, that was that. I'm curious to see. We need those ecosystems to thrive. You need those people to make the money that, even if they didn't lose it per se, let's say they just like held to zero, like you need those people to be back in the money. You need those people to be able to feel like they want to buy another ape with that ape coin, to be able to buy another NFT, or maybe a doodles because they're bullish on another NFT community. Like you're not going to get an NFT run that we talk about a lot without that, right? Without the reinvigoration within NFT communities that are existent. So Pudgy now has its North Star, Abstract, Iglooing that's going on. Doodles has the Dollverse, its North Star, Golden Wolf, the studio, boom, they're going. ApeCoin, Bored Apes now have Garga, who's clearly on top of this, leading the charge. For the first time ever, we're seeing them mix and match with ApeCoin and ApeChain and everything, because it was really, they did it the whole separate way early on, right? Which you can't really blame founders for that, for what it's worth. Being someone that's going through it is because of regulatory landscape of USA. It's very hard to be able to work with foundation, to launch a token, etc. It's very, very hard. It's very intricate and expensive and annoying, but it is what it is. And so I like this. Tyler, what do you think? Do you like it?
They are moving forward.
Yeah,
I think we still will see how it all ties together.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
I'd say the sentiment's probably bottomed.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. It's yeah, I mean, definitely bottomed on that front. And then those were the main news, right? Is there anything else you wanted to double down on before I go to our guest of the day?
No, I think that's it. Let's get Johan on.
Hell yeah.
Go into it.
Let's do it. What's up, Johan? How you doing, man? Good morning.
Hey, good. How are you?
We are doing fantastic. Thank you for joining us today. It's always an honor and a pleasure to have you.
Excited to be on. I actually didn't see the Doodle trailer, so that was pretty fun to see.
Right? It's pretty cool. They're doing a good job.
They did a great job, yeah.
Yeah, plus, like, I don't know if you guys saw, like, leading up to it, like, I saw Coil Ray do, like, a photo shoot and stuff, and, like, she was rocking, like, that G-Shock doodles. Like, it's even the little things, like, they're really integrating them into, like, the marketing of it, etc. So it's not just, like, oh, they use their voice and, like, they're not going to get any, like, promotion or presence on their socials. So I think it's good. When's that film festival, actually, Tyler?
I think it's in August or September. I'm gonna have to go back to my notes.
September 5th to the 15th.
Right. There we are.
So that's coming in quick. That'll come probably faster than most things. So anyways, we're joined here by Johan. So for those of you who are just on audio, I've pinned to the top the broadcast link. We've all posted it. It's across. We're live on YouTube, Rug Radio YouTube, every single morning at 10 a.m. Or also streaming, broadcasting live on X, where you can comment to us live, etc. Your questions, your comments, we're always able to read them live. Johan Kerbat, who is the VP and GM of crypto at Robinhood, which is really, really awesome. So it's a pleasure to have you, Johan. Do you want to maybe give yourself like a little quick introduction for our audience and maybe talk a little bit about your background?
Yeah, absolutely. So pleasure to be on. I am John, like you said. So I'm the crypto GM at Robinhood, meaning that I handle everything crypto at Robinhood. I've been at the company for a bit less than 4 years, and I joined initially as the CTO of the crypto team. And before that, I worked at a bunch of startups. I've been in crypto for a bit more than 10 years now. So, been a big a fan of trying to make crypto more accessible and to open the gates to the retail world. And so I think Robinhood is the best place for that.
And before like we get into the whole Robinhood conversation and you joining them, like how long have you been like in crypto, and like what really attracted you to this industry?
Yeah, I started very early when I was still young, and I basically created a small startup working on payments rails, and one of the payment rails was Bitcoin. And so at the time, we felt like credit card was complicated. There was a lot of fraud. Merchant was never really sure if they were actually going to get the money or not. And so at the time, when Bitcoin existed, we're like, hey, this is a perfect tool for you. When you have a transaction that is confirmed on the blockchain, you will never have to worry about is the money coming in or not. It was probably a bit too early, so we didn't have a ton of traction yet back in the days. But yeah, basically stayed in payment system and crypto systems since then. And I think for me the pleasure that I've been having in the past few years is that we're starting to see a lot more usage of blockchain. That it's not just trading activity, but you also are starting to see blockchain being used for more things, stable coins, for example, is one of the perfect example of a much better system than the traditional finance system, and on top of that, it's powered by blockchain.
Yeah, no, that is really cool. So like, when did this whole like, going to work with Robinhood thing start? Like, when did this initial conversation start? Because obviously Robinhood is mostly known for being able to trade stocks, et cetera, most accessible to all American people, et cetera. But when did they really get curious or interested in the crypto side of things?
Yeah, so actually, Robinhood Crypto was launched in 2018. So February of 2018, which I guess was the dead of the winter post like the 2017 summer. And I think for me, that's one of the main factors that really got me excited about Robinhood. They actually believe, like the founders, Vlad and Beju, really believe that crypto was here to stay, and it was going to be like the financial framework of tomorrow. And so no matter of the condition of the market at the time back in 2018, they were like, you know what, we're going to still launch this product. And since then we've been kind of improving the product. We added more assets. We offered like more things like transfer or self-custody wallet. We also expanded in the EU since December. So really we went from like a small idea, a small side project that was part of the overall Robinhood app, to actually being like a pretty big crypto business now.
Yeah, I mean, pretty big crypto business indeed. I think we chatted the same morning where the news came out that you guys had acquired Bitstamp, and I was like, oh shit. I'm like, talk about a coincidence, and I thought it was some pretty large news. So a few weeks ago, right? I'm looking at it, was June 6th, a few weeks ago. Wow, time flies. My God, 3 weeks ago.
Time flies. It was a month ago, yeah.
In 3 weeks. I mean, and by the way, we thought it was all over 3 weeks ago, right? I mean, not us, but definitely the people on the timeline. So a few weeks ago, this headline, hit crypto Twitter by storm. Robinhood acquires crypto exchange Bitstamp in a $200 million deal. The $200 million cash deal is expected to close in the first half of 2025, subject to regulatory approval. So, Joe, like, to the extent at which you can speak to us about this, like, do you mind like maybe elaborating on why acquiring an exchange, right, when you have Robinhood, and like what the thought process behind that, and maybe if you can expand on the plans that Robinhood has with Bitstamp?
Yeah, absolutely. So, for people who don't really know Robinhood, just to explain how we work, we are basically a marketplace. So when you place an order to buy Bitcoin on Robinhood, for example, we act as an agent and we send the order to market maker. And so we don't match between customer, or we don't do anything that, an exchange will do. But the reason why we looked at the Bitstamp acquisition was for 3 key reasons. The first one was to accelerate the international expansion. The second one was to get a scaled crypto exchange that is already running and already has volume. And the third one was to get a diversification of our business to institution. So to explain a bit more in details, for the international expansion, Bitstamp already holds over 50 active licenses globally, and we'll bring customers from the EU, from UK, from Asia, and more. So for us, it's a big step forward. We used to be exclusively a US retail app, and recently we started to launch in the EU for crypto, in the UK for the brokerage, but it's still like at the very beginning of our journey. So this is a huge leap forward for our expansion. And then the exchange, for us, it's very important because this will really help build more and more advanced product for advanced trader, especially for our international customer base. And instead of trying to build the exchange from scratch and to start doing little things, like we're actually getting a scaled exchange already that has been alive since 2011. So it's even older than Robinhood, and it's still standing strong. So for us, that was like a very big value prop for us. And finally, the institutional side for us is a big change. Like, we've been 100% focused on retail, but there is a big other side of the business here where institutions are getting more and more into crypto. You've seen it with the ETF announcement for Bitcoin and for Ethereum. Institutions are getting into the space. So having an exchange like Bitstamp that is already trusted by institutions because of the deep order book, because of their API connectivity, because of some of their white label service offering, all of that really mean that we enter the space of institutional with a already active and highly trusted business. So that was really like a big reason also for the deal. So yeah, I think super excited overall. I think it's a game changer for our business in the sense of like we have a lot more things that we can do now.
Thanks for jumping into that, Johan. I'm curious, maybe kind of taking the conversation a little bit deeper. I'm curious, like, have you noticed any trends or changes in user behavior on Robinhood crypto? Since the 2021 kind of peak mania and then the bear market and then things kind of picking up now. I'm curious, are you seeing similar behavior? Like, are we seeing pattern changes? I'm curious what might be standing out.
I think we've seen we have different customer base. So we are a very large player in the US. We have 24 million customers.
Wow.
So it will really depend on the market. So when there is a market that is a bit more slow, like September of last year, we see the heavy trader, the people that are trading on a hourly basis or daily basis, like still using the platform a lot. When we see like a bit more of a peak trading market like we had in 2021, we see more for customer like trading the crypto side. So I think it really depends. And for us, we don't really look at the volume on a day-to-day. We try to build the features that people are excited to use no matter when they are going to use it. So I think the beauty of Robinhood to me is that no matter what you want to trade, you can go on equities, you can trade Bitcoin, you can trade Tesla and then sell Tesla and trade Bitcoin or something like that. And I think that's kind of the really good part of Robinhood. Like you don't have to transfer between apps and these kind of things.
Exactly. Just like, and I know Tyler, you want to double down on that, but like, for example, like these past few weeks, Mando comes on the show every day, says there's new all-time high for stocks. What if I, as someone who's I'm all mostly crypto, personally speaking, I don't really bother with stocks because it's not my thing, right? But let's say I do think Tesla's a good buy. I could just flip within the same platform, which kind of makes sense, right? Like it shouldn't be separated in the first place. Should have never been, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's, historical reason for all of this, and there's a bunch of licenses involved and all this stuff. But I think for us, that's really the key. And we want to make sure that your experience is as good as any other platform. So we've been investing a lot in our tooling. So, for example, we created advanced charts where you can do like technical analysis if you want to do like MD or something. We have advanced order type if you want to do a stop loss or something like that. So we've really been investing in our products. So no matter what type of trader you are and no matter what product you want to use, you're able to use it on Robinhood. Yeah.
Oh, but that's great to hear. It's funny that you brought up the Tesla to Bitcoin trade, because actually Pio, who hosts the Nifty Show, another morning show in this space, actually made that exact trade. He sold Tesla to buy Bitcoin.
I love that.
And it's just nice to have that functionality. One thing you mentioned is like, you're building towards the future. I think a very important kind of current macro topic right now is perhaps a change in the U.S. political regime. And potentially Trump coming in. He's a heavy favorite on Polymarket to win at 70%. And he is essentially showing a pro crypto platform. I think many are thinking that it could involve like a change in the SEC. And a lot of the regulation and crackdown could go away. I'm curious, like, have you all been following that closely? Have you started crafting any plans, post-election into 2025, based on perhaps an easier crypto regulatory environment?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing. Like we do follow everything that is happening because, of course, like everything is going, like there will be an impact on the market and how people behave. Overall, things haven't changed too much on our side. Like we work with regulator quite a bit. If you think about Robinhood, like we are regulated by the SEC, by FINRA on the brokerage side. On our side, on the crypto side, we are regulated by the New York DFS. So we don't shy away from regulation and working with them. I think what's going to happen in October or November, like who knows? But for us on our side, we've been focusing on making sure that we have a constant feedback loop with our customers and making sure that if something is of interest for our customer, we're going to try to build towards that. And we've seen it a lot with, for example, the self-custody wallet. That was one of the top requested feature for our customer. They wanted to have a wallet to get into Web3 and to get into more like of this space. And so we've built it. So, for us, like it's less about predicting how the market is going to change and more about talking to our customer, doing a lot of user research, trying to understand what they are going to be interested next, and then build that to make sure that they have what they want.
Yeah, well, that certainly makes sense. I imagine the self-custody wallet has been a huge one. How have customers responded? To that?
It's been downloaded in 140 plus countries. Wow. So it's been a great product for us. I think the main reason behind this wallet was that the crypto world is moving so fast. If we want to integrate everything inside the main app, the main custodial app, like there is no way we can catch up. Like, by the time I integrate with one dApp, there is like 50,000 that got created overnight. So our goal was to really build the system that can allow you to access whatever you want. And we've tried to do this in ways that are also helping the customer. So we were one of the first to launch gasless swap. So because we realized when we were talking to customers that they wanted to swap one token to a token, but they didn't understand why they needed to also have the gas token. Yeah. So, all these kind of things, like we have a lot of customers that are first-time investor on the platform. And so we want to make sure that we give them the tools that get them into what they want to do. Like sometimes I think crypto people get a bit lost into the technical and the protocol and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, a lot of customers, they just want the thing to work.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes it much easier to work. I mean, we saw the news, of course, like actually, Tyler, that was a relevant question in terms of like the political landscape, because the latest news that came out of Robinhood was actually like 10 days ago of you expanding Robinhood crypto, right? In all the US states, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands. I mean, how's this expansion in the USA been?
Yeah, I mean, so at this point we're done. So, very happy about that. We are now available everywhere in the US, which I think was a great change for us. So back last year, we opened in Nevada, we announced that. And then, just like a couple of weeks ago, we announced like these new states, Hawaii and also Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. I think for me, that was pretty important because, Robinhood's core mission is to democratize finance for all, and it didn't sit very well with us to not be able to do that everywhere in our own country. So we started to expand in the EU and in the UK, and it was important for us to come back and also finish the work in the US. So really excited about it, and we got at this point the way of saying like we are available everywhere in the US is also feels very nice.
I love it. Listen, as a crypto user, and I'm sure Tyler as a US citizen, it's a great signal for the market and for crypto in general.
It's a big deal. And I feel like mobile is so important. And I feel like so many crypto teams struggle to really nail the crypto app. And I'm actually curious, Johan, if you wouldn't mind maybe walking us through the onboarding process. So if a US customer wants to get in to Robinhood crypto, you download the app, you download the wallet, like what's the path from like first step all the way to being able to perhaps, transact on chain?
Yeah. Really depends on what you want to do. So if you don't want to be on chain, if you just want to have your custody handled by Robinhood, you can just download the Robinhood app. The onboarding is very simple, and you will be able to buy and sell the crypto, and you can leave it on Robinhood or you can transfer it out if you're eligible. And it's a fairly basic app, like nothing very different from other onboarding processes. But we also offer the self-custody wallet where, it's just a very simple process where you open the wallet, you have your key, and you can start transferring in and out. I think one thing that we did very well in the wallet is that you can easily transfer from your Robinhood account to the wallet. And so, we've been trying to reduce the amount of steps and the amount of like frustration, I will say, that you can get when you try to use some of these products. So overall, super simple. And then the wallet allows you to use multiple chains. We go from the classic like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, and we also have Arbitrum and Base and other chains. So we've been trying to make it like very accessible to everybody.
It's clean. Sorry, I'm looking at the website at the same time. I was literally looking at this while you were talking about it, and I find that really, really good. It's good to have like a major player like you guys actually get involved for real.
Yeah, it's clean, and we've been trying to really, all the learnings we got from the UX and UI for Robinhood, we've been trying to port them into the self-custody wallet. A lot of the feedback we're getting from people were, I love Robinhood, and then I transfer to my other self-custody wallet, and then I'm lost and I don't know what I'm doing. So we've been trying to really make the two applications very close to each other, so you're really not, lost on anything.
Huh? That's good. This is quite interesting. I like the marketing. You guys are good.
We're pushing on it. So that's the thing that we're really pushing towards is we want to be the lowest cost to buy and sell crypto. And in the US, on average, you will actually save quite a bit of crypto if you use Robinhood.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that I keep telling people is when you try to use a product, look at the quantity of Bitcoin or crypto that you're buying, that you're getting at the end, because there are so many ways of making revenue for companies. Sometimes they charge you a fee, sometimes they charge you a markup on the spread, sometimes it's a combination of multiple things. So just look at the quantity on the final page, and you will see that in average, Robinhood is the lowest place to buy crypto.
This is very interesting. My favorite feature always is the recurring buys. Across. That's something I tell all my friends. Like even this past weekend, watching football, my friend was like, "I want to get back into buying crypto." Of course, now, right? And like, what do? I said, however much you make, I don't want to know how much you make. Take like 1% of that per week, per month. Just set it to buy BTC Sol and just forget. NFA, of course. you know that Kanye meme at the end. But it's like, do you? But the recurring buy to me is the single most important tool in like an exchange or wallet, because it makes sure that you're always somewhat get some exposure. But anyways, Joe, don't want to hold you much longer here, but last question would be like anything you're personally looking forward to in the industry or you or Robinhood as a whole, by the way. But what's the future like for you?
Yeah, I think for us, we want to start using blockchain technologies to power more and more things. So, we've seen stable coins. I think we can do more with blockchain. I think we can tokenize real world assets and actually make them a lot more efficient. So you will hear more from us, I think. But I'm personally really excited about, just seeing the adoption of crypto going from, back in the day just to a few assets, and now we're starting to see it more and more, from tokenization of bonds to the stable coins to more things. So overall, like, really excited of the progress we're making, and I can't really wait to see how much crypto will change the traditional finance system in the next few years. I think it's going to be a big transformation.
Oh yeah, very, very big. Well, Johan, thank you so much for being here today, and I really appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Have a good one. All right. Well, that was great. But more bullish news, more bullish sentiment. You're hearing from some of the biggest in the game. So that's really awesome. Tyler, that was a great interview. It was a pleasure as usual. We will see y'all tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of FOMO Hour on Rug Radio. Let's go.